Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We spoke yesterday about becoming mindful to that inner, deeper yearning, to awaken to it and to pay heed to it. That there is indeed something more. And that something more is not outside of ourselves. Rather, it is within us. We cannot merely conceptualize it. We have to experience it, feel it. It is more an experiential thing rather than an intellectual understanding that we are after. What this requires us to do is to take on a journey, an inner journey of self-discovery, of finding out what it really is that is going on within us and who we really are. You see, when people end up in hell, and I in no way believe that hell is eternal. God cannot allow that. It is more like a prison. Even if we get multiple life sentences, inevitably they have to end, because at the core of us resides the breath of the most beautiful one. And that light cannot be extinguished entirely. The hell that is spoken of in the realest sense is not the hell in which the body feels anguished. The bodily pain is just the outer pain. The anguish is from within. And that anguish, in essence, is of alienation from God. But the pain is felt outside, and the people therein do not recognize that it is an inner pain. As Ali Salamullah alayhi states in his Dua Kumail, even if I were to get accustomed to the heat of the fire, O Lord, how shall I bear separation from Thee? This is talking about that deep, deep state of alienation. But the same is true for paradise. The people in paradise are also removed from God. Think about this carefully. The fact that the soul finds pleasure in bounties of paradise in itself signifies that the soul has not found itself. It needs an external medium of whatever kind it may be, much finer than this present world of ours, yet it is via something. And that is why the Quran says, وَلَدَيْنَا مَزِيد. We have more than the gardens in which you rejoice and reside. The Prophet was asked, and the Urafa quote this, what is this mazid, the more that the Quran speaks of? The Prophet said, it is a glimpse of the face of God. He said, whenever God gives a glimpse of His presence to the inhabitants of paradise, their hearts would become heedless and mindless of the bounties of paradise. They would become absorbed in divine radiance. And when God removes this glimpse of His, they will feel a sense of emptiness within, despite being in their paradise. And they will eagerly await the next moment in which God reveals Himself. So even paradise is a form of separation and alienation. Deep inside, there is a reality which does not find contentment even with the bounties given by God. It wants to find the real thing. Now, this journey that we need to undertake is unlike the bodily journeys that we experience in this world. But unfortunately, because we have awoken within a bodily medium, we feel that the inner journey is akin to the outer bodily journey. We feel our journey in this world commences from birth and terminates at death. And in this journey, we need to remember God, pray to Him, reach out to Him, fear Him, be obedient to Him. And then we go on to the next stage of our journey. However, if we look at it carefully, the journey has only been of the body. We haven't been moving. We have been passively accompanying the body, as the body has been moving with its own dynamics and dynamism. From birth to old age, matter is moving. We are passively sitting like a passenger within a vehicle or a car. The journey of the self is unlike the journey that we take as passengers, in which the vehicle is moving. We get in there and we stop, we open the door and we come out. We have not journeyed. The body has journeyed. Our journey, if we can give an example and explain through analogy, is the journey of a seed to becoming a tree. The seed has to inevitably give away its seedling state in order to allow a tree to emerge through it. It's a journey of constant destructions and constant remaking. The journey of the seed is one in which the seed no longer retains itself as it was, but gives itself to the higher state that awaits within it. This is the journey of emergence, in which the finer beauty that is within us is allowed to emerge. For that, we need to become mindful that it is I who is the subject of the journey. And that journey will require me to undergo changes constantly that my former self cannot remain or endure. How do we translate this in physical terms? We awaken in this body as insecure beings. If towards the end of life we are as insecure, as we made pacts with God in our teens and early 20s, that if you do this for me, then I will do this for you. If we are still making those pacts with God at the age of 60 and 70, then the soul has not journeyed. At the age of 70, like Hussein, we need to call out to God and say, "O Allah, allow me not to ask you to postpone a decree that you have chosen to hasten. Allow me to embrace your decree. There are no more deals being made with God here. Allow me not to ask you for the hastening of a decree that you have chosen to postpone. Allow me to embrace the way you design things for me. There are no more making oaths with God that I will perform Hajj or Ziyarat, or I will give money in your way. if you dispel this sickness from me. To say to Allah, O Lord, if you have ordained sickness for me, then let me see that as a gift from you. Allow me, through this sickness, to relinquish any thought of comfort that is accompanied with good health. Allow me to find you through this troublesome spot that I am experiencing. Allow me beyond that, O Lord, to feel a deep sense of pleasure from this state, and allow me to see this bodily tribulation actually as a favor from you. How wonderful is Hussein, after losing everything and seeing the prospect of captivity of his women folk, after the burning thirst, as the blade approaches his thirsty neck, his lips break into a smile, and his face begins to radiate. That is the journey that we need to undertake. Not merely the journey of the body. What I would like us to think through from this talk is that have we actually changed qualitatively through the experiences of life? Are we still the same in our attitudes as we were a few years ago? If that is the case, then indeed we haven't made the most of the breaths that God has given us. But if we have changed, we have learned to forgive, we have learned to let go, then indeed we have achieved to an extent the purpose of our existence. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.